Hey everyone. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing the Q&A video that I had promised on my Facebook the other day. Before I get started real quick, I just want to, actually thank everyone that contributed questions for this. I actually have like a really good variety of stuff here. Some of you guys actually, had some stuff that seems really well thought out too. So again, I appreciate all the questions that you contributed for this. There's actually quite a few of them, so I guess I'm just going to get started. Okay, so question number one, how did you decide when to come out? Okay, so coming out for me, I guess, was kind of like a gradual process. What I did, coming out to everyone on Facebook wasn't like the beginning of it. I had actually come out to, a handful of like the people that I'm really close with first. And my parents had kind of, found out actually like a month ago too, before I came out to everyone. It kind of got to a point. Well, basically, once my family found out, I kind of just stopped caring. So, yeah, I mean, basically, that's it. Once I got there, I really wanted to do this whole YouTube thing, too. So I just decided, I really don't care anymore. I mean, some people are going to accept it, some people aren't. But that was basically the point. I've been trying to figure this out for about the last 6 months now. I've been like completely committed. So yeah, I mean, it basically was just me, like a work in progress, me trying to figure it out. But it came out to a whole bunch of people kind of one at a time that I was close with. And then once I got to a point where I couldn't contain it anymore, I was just like, you know what, fuck it. And just, posted everything up on YouTube and Facebook and switched accounts. Okay, question number two. Where did the name Amy Porter come from? Okay, so I needed to keep my initials the same. My initials are ARP. So, I mean, I guess it just came from my head. It wasn't anything that, I was influenced by someone else named Amy Porter or anything like that. I just, like the name Amy. I think it's a cute name. And I kind of wanted, just a kind of generic sounding last name. I was thinking about keeping it the same, but I feel like my family probably doesn't want to associate with me. That's kind of how I feel at this point. So, yeah, and I mean, I haven't legally gotten it changed, so, I mean, that could potentially change. I don't really know, but I like it the way it is right now. And, yeah, I mean, that's it. I just wanted something that was simple. I haven't come up with, a middle name actually yet. I was thinking either Rachel or Regina. I'm not really sure. But I mean, that's not really the top thing on my list of priorities right now. I'll come up with something eventually. It is going to be something with R as the first letter, though. Okay, question number three. Are you sexually attracted to boys? No, that would make me a pedophile. And no, I'm not sexually attracted to boys. Question number four. Do you find women sexually attractive? All right, so I guess you guys are trying to pound my sexuality out of me. So I just kind of explain myself here. I am bisexual. I find myself more physically attracted to women, but I get more enjoyment out of sex with men. So, I mean, ideally, I guess, with all of that in mind, the perfect partner for me would be another trans female. I mean, to be completely honest right now, though, I mean, dating and sex aren't really the top thing on my list of priorities either. I mean, I'm still in the process of trying to figure myself out and trying to, move forward with my new life. And it's just something that isn't really important to me at the moment. I mean, there's going to come a time, obviously, where I am looking for a partner. But, right now it just, doesn't really seem that important to me, basically. Okay, question number five. Do you plan on getting sexual reassignment surgery? And why or why not? The answer to that is actually no. I'm fine with just electrolysis and hormone therapy. I mean, I've never really been bothered by the fact that I have a penis. I really just want to be able to present as female and, get away with it, I guess. But I mean, give my reasons. Basically, sexual reassignment surgery, first of all, is extremely expensive, and no insurance is going to cover it because it's considered cosmetic. Also, I mean, you're kind of taking a gamble, I guess, because there's a very good likelihood that you're going to lose all sensation down there. And that's the last thing I want, is to not be able to enjoy sex. I mean, it just, on top of that, I mean, with the money that I could spend on that, there's just way better things that I could do with that money. I mean, I'm trying to move forward and make a life for myself, basically, as an artist, and I would rather save up my money and put it towards, the things that I want to do, the things that I want to get out of life, rather than, paying money to get some surgery that could end up altering my sex life. It just, it doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, that's that. The next one actually was also a surgery question. Question number 6. Are you considering surgery on your Adam's apple? That's actually, of all of the different surgeries that are available to transsexuals, that is the only one that I actually would consider. Because, the Adam's apple is the one thing that makes it hardest for, male to female transsexuals to at least feel like they're passing. I mean, at the same time, it is kind of expensive. I would rather spend my money on other things, but if it gets to, if, a time comes where I have the money to do it, yeah, I would consider that, actually. Again, that's the only surgery that I actually would consider. Okay, question number 7. This one's kind of long. You said previously on your other video that you never felt comfortable embracing masculinity, but felt obliged to. Do you think that if you were allowed by society to openly embrace your femininity, that it would have felt, that you would have felt more comfortable as a male? Okay, first of all, what I actually said was that, masculinity was something that never came naturally to me. I mean, I do feel more comfortable presenting as female. I mean, obviously, a lot of you guys have noticed that too, that I just feel, seem more comfortable and confident, basically the way I'm presenting lately. So, yeah, I mean, to those of you that do know me too, you have to realize that, there kind of was a point where I did present as much more feminine when I was in my early 20s. Kind of went through a phase where I dyed my hair. I had my hair like bright pink for a while. I used to wear skinny jeans every day. I used to have gigantic like gauges, like 3/4 inch in my earlobes. And basically, when I ended up going to college, I lived back at my parents' house, and basically just kind of got a hard time, like, from my family about the way that I presented myself. I kind of felt guilty about it, so I went back to, trying to grow a beard and trying to look more masculine, and it just, didn't work for me, basically. So I ended up, back to where I was, but even more. And, I mean, honestly, society is what it is. I mean, as far as I can see right now, I mean, I am, allowed to openly embrace my femininity. The only people that have really had a problem with it so far have been my family. And, I'm just much more comfortable and much more happy this way. So, yeah, I mean, that's that. I'm not a masculine person. I never have been. I mean, one example basically of that, I guess, like, the biggest thing for me is sports. I just don't get sports. I hear two guys talking about sports and my brain just completely shuts off. Like, every sport that I can think of, except maybe baseball and NASCAR, is, a bunch of people running back and forth in a field or a court or whatever over a ball. It just doesn't make sense to me. It seems totally freaking pointless. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just much more, comfortable in my skin as a woman. So that's what I decided to do. Okay, question number 8. What public bathroom do you use now? And will that change, or has it already? Well, okay, so right now, I mean, I'm kind of living a double life. I don't always present as female every single day, but, whatever I am that day, that's the bathroom that I use, basically. There's going to come a point, obviously, I mean, once I on hormones and once I'm presenting as female full-time, I'm not really going to have a choice but to use the women's room, which kind of, the one thing that I'm going to miss is urinals. Urinals are the greatest thing in the world. They really are. I love being able to pee standing up. I know it sounds kind of silly, but it just is what it is. But yeah, I mean, once I am a woman, I'm going to have to use the women's room. That's just how it works. Number 9, which do you prefer, waxing your legs or shaving them? I've never actually waxed my legs before. I mean, I'm fine with shaving. To be honest, sure you can tell with the other questions about the surgery too. I'm kind of cheap. I'm trying to save my money towards, basically, opening my own business, essentially, doing art. And trying to save as much money as I can. Oh, waxing your legs is just an unnecessary cost to me when I can just shave them. And I mean, I shower every day anyway. It only takes a couple extra minutes to, pull out a razor and shave everything. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't see any point in waxing. Question number 10, I kind of put this on there as a joke. Actually, when I was in the Facebook, I was like, there are no silly questions. You can even ask me what my favorite color is. And someone actually sent me a message, and they were like, what is your favorite color? My favorite color is green. Or turquoise, or anything along that range, basically. But I really like things that are green. Okay, question number 11. What does your natural male voice sound like? Okay, so you have to realize that this doesn't actually come naturally to me anymore because I've been using this higher pitched voice for so long that, I actually have to force it down to get to where it used to be. And also, I mean, just so that you know, it is a work in progress. Feminizing your voice is something that takes a long time. So, it's not entirely where I want it to be right now either, but, it will get better. I do practice every day, obviously. Okay, this is what my voice, used to sound like, basically. I have a really low-pitched voice, basically, from smoking cigarettes for all these years. So it has been kind of a challenge for me to get it up, but you're just practicing every day, a little bit at a time, and I've managed to get it right about here. And, it is going to get higher, too, the more that I practice. Okay, question number 12. What role has art played in your path to identity? That's an interesting question, actually. I mean, I almost think that it's like the other way around. After I graduated from college, basically, for art, I kind of went through a period for a few years where I was in a real big rut, basically. I was doing a lot of drugs. I was kind of keeping to myself. And kind of this was like, the lowest point for me, basically, because I was really unhappy with my gender. I was really unhappy with the direction things were going. And I just kind of didn't have any motivation to work on my art. And it's actually, once I finally started being able to embrace my feminine side, it was just like, a waterfall of inspiration just started pouring out of me, and all I wanted to do was, keep working on stuff, keep making more art. It's gotten to a point now where, finally I'm back to where I was, like, skill-wise, because I had not done anything for so long that I was starting to get a little rusty. And basically, it just being able to embrace my femininity has actually inspired me in its own to want to work and to make all these beautiful things that I have been making lately. So, without coming out, without, getting to the point where I am right now, I probably, wouldn't have been making art. I probably would have been sitting around doing nothing with my life like I was doing before. But yeah, art is life to me, basically. I get so much enjoyment just out of sitting around and drawing or painting and just, making these things that I make. That's that, basically. Okay, question number 13. What do you hope to accomplish in your life? Okay, so right now, basically, I'm kind of doing my thing. I'm working third shift job. where, you know, I sit at a computer all night. It's a pretty good job. It's obviously not what I want to do for the rest of my life, but I'm very happy with where I am with that right now. Working on, you know, my art basically, and the hula hoop stuff, and my YouTube channel. But what I really want, this is actually something that I've been planning with one of my close friends. Well, we've been talking about it at least, and it's something that I wanted to do before we even started talking about it, is I want to be able to sell my art at music festivals and fairs and stuff like that. I want to, you know, start vending, essentially. So hopefully, I mean, the idea is to get that going by the beginning of next summer. Because my dream in life, honestly, more than anything, is to travel and to be able to see, you know, as many things that I can see and experience as many things as I possibly can. So what I want to do, essentially, and I'm kind of saving up money for this right now, is I'm going to continue working on my art. I'm going to try to get as much stuff made as I possibly can in the next year or so. And I want to be able to be, you know, vending at music festivals by next summer. Or it gets to the point where, I mean, I'm going to be pretty close to fully transitioned, hopefully at that point too. But yeah, we are, and hopefully, you know, she ends up wanting to do it still too, because we kind of have talked about it a couple times, but everything's not set in stone yet. But I'm going to be, I'm working on a series of 20 to 25 like oil pastel, like abstract kind of trippy looking drawings. And yeah, I mean, have a bunch of other paintings and stuff that I'd be willing to sell, you know, take along with me too. But people seem to really be digging the oil pastel drawings. Obviously, I mean, I put a ton of time and effort into them, so I wouldn't be able to part with the originals for very cheap, you know, definitely like $250+ for those. But what I can do with them is, you know, I'm going to get high quality prints made of them. And depending on the cost of those prints, I'll be selling those probably for like, you know, $30, $40, something like that, something much more affordable. So if you wanted to buy one of the originals, you know, obviously you're going to have to pay full price, but I will have these prints made for all of those that, you know, really like my drawings but don't have a ton of money. And I mean, that's really what I want to do, basically. I fell in love with the music festival scene when I started actually, I mean, when I went to Bonnaroo last summer and saw just, you know, how much the artists that sold their art, like, really loved what they were doing, and decided that that is really what I want to do with my life. I want to be able to sell my art, and I want to be able to travel. So yeah, I mean, hopefully that'll be able to work. I am really, like, you know, doing the best that I can to save up my money and hopefully be able to get that going by next summer. Okay, question number 14. What TV shows do you watch? I'm a sucker for cartoons. I mean, amongst many other things, but I mean, I could probably list off stuff all day long. You know, my favorites at the moment are Rick and Morty. I fucking love that show. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it because it's the most hilarious show ever. If you go to the Adult Swim website too, they have the entire first season up there for free. Again, Rick and Morty, watch it. It's awesome. And then I like Archer. I like Bob's Burgers. I'm really not a fan of, you know, Seth MacFarlane stuff, like Family Guy. I just don't really get, you know, the humor just kind of seems pointless. Like, none of the jokes are really relevant to the story in the episode, and it just kind of seems silly to me. But yeah, basically, you know, my three favorites are the ones that I mentioned: Bob's Burgers, Archer, Rick and Morty, and, you know, any other silly cartoons. Basically, I'm a sucker for those. Other than cartoons, well, I'm in the process of watching Breaking Bad for the third time through right now. Definitely like best show ever. Orange is the New Black is really good. I definitely got sucked into that. What else? You know, I'd say that's actually probably about it besides cartoons. I mean, honestly, I don't watch that much TV. I do, like, when it's slow at work, I'll watch stuff every once in a while on my computer. But I mean, other than that, I spend a lot of time focusing on my art and listening to music. So I'd actually say, I mean, I'm more of a music person than I am a TV person, basically. I mean, you know, I'm trying to accomplish other things. It just, you know, is pretty counterproductive to sit around and watch TV all day, you know? Okay, this is actually the last question. Question number 15. How did you work up the nerve to do your first video? Okay, the first video that I did, actually, this was something, coming out was something that I had been planning for a very, very long time. I had been thinking about what I wanted to say, although it was relatively unscripted. I had an idea of what I wanted to say, and it just was a matter of, when I was ready, basically. Once I came out to a handful of people, I realized, I just have to get this out in the open and just come out to everyone else. And some people are going to accept it, and some of them aren't. I'm not really the type of person that has anxiety issues, that really worries about stuff like that. I realize obviously not everyone's going to be on my side, but sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith. It was pretty nerve-wracking. I'm not denying that, but basically, I just did it. I just sat there and I talked in front of a camera. And I'm not going to lie, I probably did record that first video about 15 times before I was happy with the way that it sounded. And I did do a couple shots of vodka first, but yeah, it wasn't anything that was really that difficult for me. It was just a matter of, me being ready. And it did take a little while before I was ready, but once I was ready, it wasn't really that hard. Okay, and that's all of the questions. So yeah, basically, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of them coming in the near future. And if there's any other things that you guys are curious about that you'd like me to address, like I know one of the questions was about my voice, and I am eventually going to do, like a vocal feminization video to explain kind of how I got to the point where I am and how I'm going to make it even better than the way that it sounds right now. But yeah, basically, if there's anything else that you do want me to address in further videos, you guys can send me an email or message me over Facebook or anything like that. As always, if you're down with what I'm doing on here, by all means, subscribe to my channel, share my videos with your friends, like my videos. I really do appreciate all of your support, and I love you guys so much. So until next time, see you later.